Good morning and welcome to another episode of the Breakfast Club on this Tuesday, 27th December 2011. I am Syafique Shuib and co-hosting with me today is Dhipa Palani. It's good to pair up with you today for the very first time.
Oh my God, I was going to say that, it's been ages. I've always worked with Syafique, but I've never hosted with Syafique.
And I've watched you host with all of our other colleagues. But it's our first time pairing up together this Tuesday morning.
It's a special moment and we're wearing tangerine.
I like the color coding and stuff.
I know, it's just lovely, especially on a lovely day right after Christmas. And you're going into the new year.
How was your Christmas break?
Oh my God, it was amazing. I went to a Christmas party held by all my friends.
Okay.
And, it was just like a reunion of some sorts, exchanging gifts. We play Secret Santa. I think we're playing Secret Santa everywhere, even in the office and back at home and with my friends. It's amazing. I think this is not the matter of whether you celebrate Christmas or not in your religious beliefs, but it's just that the whole gift, the gift sharing, and it's just part of being Malaysian. We celebrate everything.
And especially in Malaysia, when our Prime Minister is promoting the spirit of one Malaysia and the spirit of Muhibah. So whether or not you celebrate Christmas, it's always a time for togetherness, a time with your family and friends. We actually start a Christmas story on our Quick Reads New Headlines segment here.
Nice. What's it about?
It's from the New Straits Times, and we're talking about 20,000 strong open house. So the National Christmas Open House held yesterday at the Kajang High School field was attended by some 20,000 people by all races and age.
Wow, so many. The National Christmas Open House held yesterday at the Kajang High School. Well, among present were Deputy Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, his wife Puan Sri Noraini Abdurrahman, and ministers and deputy ministers. The crowd was entertained by famous artists such as Jamal Abdillah and One Nation MCs, and treated to cultural performances as they feasted on a One Malaysia spread that included satay, nasi biryani, macaroni and rendang. And among those who joined in the festivities was retired army officers Valayan, who came in with his family, and he said that he supported the spirit of Malaysia, One Malaysia, and wished that Malaysians could rediscover the old spirits of togetherness. Now, do you think that we still have that spirit of togetherness?
I think, of course, because we have a lot of festive seasons here in Malaysia. We have the upcoming Chinese New Year coming up next year. Also, we have Hari Raya, which just happened a few months ago. So I think we have so many festivals here, and we're just celebrating together as one, Malaysia.
Every few weeks, every gap of a week or every gap of a month, we have another celebration. Isn't that fun?
And it's so good to have all these different races coming together to celebrate for a common cause. I mean, even though we don't really celebrate or practice a certain faith, a certain celebration, but it's just good just to get together for the spirit of togetherness.
Yes, the whole sharing and communal togetherness.
That's
it just says a lot of things about Malaysians. We are a very harmonious group of people. Well, next up we have a not very harmonious theme. It's from Utusan Malaysia. It's about women who spend a lot of money to make themselves satisfied by cosmetics. It's called Wanita Memuaskan Diri dengan berbelanja ribuan ringgit untuk cosmetics. Now we see here that
we're talking about here how women buy actually cosmetics. They actually spend up to 2,000 ringgit to buy cosmetics, and it's actually for their self-esteem. So do you actually agree to that? And I don't know about you, Dhipa, but do you actually agree with that? Spending a lot of money on cosmetics just to look good and feel good.
Well, yeah, you're right there. You're spot on. It is for a feel good objective that you spend that much of money. But at the same time, do you really think after all that surgery you're gonna feel improved and happier? Does happiness come in what you look on the outside? It's definitely a sense of insecurity that you have. That's why you're having all these surgeries and all these makeovers. It's supposed to be coming from within.
That's right.
You,
and we're talking about a lot of money here. In this article, it says that the woman actually spends around 2,000 ringgit, and the average young Malaysians, around 25 years old, they earn about, let's say, an average around 3,000. Around that figure. And you're spending 2,000 ringgit on cosmetic products and all that just to improve yourself. But at the same time, in this article, it says that it makes you feel good. So what do you have to say about that? I mean, after all the makeup and all that, do you actually feel good about yourself, or do you have a little low self-esteem if you don't have the makeup on?
No, I would be lying if I said no.
You have your makeup on.
I have my makeup on. It does make me feel good, but at the same time, women out there should not feel insecure. If you think you're doing this for yourself, go ahead, do it for your confidence. But if you think you're doing it just to stay at par with the models and whatever that the media is imaging right now, when you see, Hollywood models and fashion shows, even like reality TV shows right now, they're all getting super skinny and they're getting very conscious about their weight. Don't do it for that reasons. Do it for your own confidence.
Because you want to.
I am not. This is not an encouragement for people to go under the knife. No, just do not be mistaken.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that, you know, if you can, try not to go under the surgery. You know, it's not advisable. Well, but moving on, we have something else from the Sun.
Speaking of under the surgery, right? We're talking about
kidney
dialysis, right?
Yeah, dialysis bill. Government foots 60% of dialysis bill. Now that is the good news. You know, people spend a lot of money. This is worth spending for because it's to cure a disease. You know, to cure something that you cannot. You know, possibly medicate on your own. The federal government pays for almost 60% of all hemodialysis treatment in the country, although only 1/3 of such treatment was provided in its centers. Despite the fact that only about 1/3 of dialysis treatment occurred in government centers, the government funding constituted almost 60% of all hemodialysis funding in the country. Now, every year Malaysians reportedly spend over 700 million.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot more than our cosmetic surgery there. A year for kidney dialysis as well as treatment for a disease that is preventable. Now, that is the key word that we should be looking at, preventable.
That's right.
And this means an estimated 4.1 million people are at risk of getting kidney problems in a year. Ghazali said, Ghazali is of course speaking, the head of nephrology department and senior consultant at the Malaysian Dialysis and Transplant Registry. He said that statistics showed an annual rise between 7 to 13% of new patients joining the dialysis program. That is quite a, you know, that's quite a large statistic.
The numbers are alarming. The numbers are alarming, and the cost of actually going through the dialysis is quite alarming as well. It's a lot.
It is.
Because we're talking about, like what you mentioned just now, 700 million ringgit, and this actually costs includes staff salaries, water, electricity, and phone bills, hardware, and a long list of consumables.
Yes.
So there's a long list of stuff that needs to be taken care of.
Yes, when you get into the hospital, there are a lot of things that we overlook.
That's right.
And that would requires extra budget. You know, this kind of things we overlook. That reminds me, you know, you should always save more. Don't underestimate of what's going to happen in the future, because you may never know. These kind of things lurk when you expect the least.
It's good that you mentioned about saving, because we were talking about the early article from Utusan Malaysia where women actually spend 2,000 ringgit on cosmetics.
Yeah.
And but I mean, you're spending 2,000 ringgit. Why don't you save up? You know, just in case you have some other health problems that could occur in your 30s or 40s or 50s.
Yeah, it may not necessarily happen to you. Maybe it's a family member, or maybe someone that's close to you. So you may always have to think about others too, your loved ones, you know.
I mean, it's good that the government foots 60% of the dialysis bill here in this article. But it's also important to have your own saving as well, just in case anything happens. So that is quite true. That's big money. But I was just talking to Dhipa before we started the show, but you know, it's all about taking care of your health right now. You know, preventing having a kidney problem, kidney disease. Yeah, kidney disease is something preventable. You know, you should not let it you should not take for granted what you have for your health right now. You know, you're probably in a good state. Your health is all checked and you're okay, but do not take that for granted and abuse your body for no reason. You have one advice just now you gave me, right, before the start of the show? Drink lots of water. Drink lots of water. Yeah. Drink lots of water and just prevent anything that could happen. And because we are talking a lot of money here. Lots of money. Okay, next up from the Star, we have more slightly good news now. Finally, on a lighter note. It's about a miracle baby. Tulasi shows no fear. From the Star. The story is about tsunami miracle baby not afraid of the sea, which almost took her life. It happened in Georgetown, this tsunami miracle baby, as Tulasi goes out swimming in the sea a few times a week since her father taught her how to swim early this year. Now, Tulasi was only 22 years old when she was found sound asleep on a floating mattress after giant waves hit her father's seaside food outlet in Miami Beach in Tanjung Bunga in Penang. Besides being thankful for his daughter's life, Supaya and his family also have been holding the annual prayer known as the Atma Shanti Puja to keep the departed soul claimed by the disaster in peace. Other than that, you know, he also said that he grabbed a coconut tree and that when he heard a woman cry, 2 young children screaming for help. Now, this situation, as he described it sounds very morbid, and it may happen anytime. We take our country for granted. Again, we're taking things for granted. Of course. Malaysia is always, you know, known for its peaceful, and it's also out of the Pacific Ring fire, if I'm not mistaken. It's not. And we have not a lot of natural disasters happening in our country compared to our neighbours. Well, speaking of which, yesterday, did you not feel the wind? I feel the wind. I can feel the wind. What's happening yesterday? I know. I swear I saw a mini cyclone in front of the restaurant that I was eating, and it was quite bad. So it reminds us of how lucky we are
knock on wood, we're not always that lucky.
That's
we
right.
have floods too. But yeah, but naturally we don't really suffer from disasters such as earthquakes, and we don't have cyclones. We don't tsunami hits, but you know we get all the how to say it's not on a major scale as compared to Indonesia.
And somehow when you are actually going through this traumatic event, you can get traumatized from this event.
Yeah.
And I like this quote from the article in The Star. I set up a Facebook fan page, the Tsunami Miracle Baby Tulasi, with photos of my sister so that people can follow her progress in life. I think when you follow a certain progress, you know what's happening to her life. You know, now actually like what's happening, like how can she overcome this tragedy? Because when you're talking about the 2004 tsunami, it's a major event.
It was a major disaster, and it was, you know, until up to now we still look back and, you know, thank God that those who have survived, and we should know what's going on with those who survived. It's something like you said, the Facebook page is like a support center. It's like, you know when you have support groups for people who have recovered from major disasters.
Like, I've gone through this, you know, this is happening in my life, this is how I've progressed 7 years after the tragedy. So this is how I moved on, so it could help other people as well.
Exactly. That's a very profound that's a very profound theory right in the morning of what day is it today? It's
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Oh, it's Tuesday. I wish it was Friday, but it's okay.
Not
Moving
yet.
on. Not yet, yeah.
This is another interesting article from Berita Harian.
Okay.
Pada buat cerita palsu, making false stories. This is actually an interesting story. Actually, a woman lies to actually save her marriage.
Well, you know, sometimes you have to do what it takes to save your marriage.
It sounded good in the beginning, okay? So, woman makes airline bomb threat to stop husband getting on a plane to see his mistress. So, this is the ultimate misguided airport romantic gesture.
Romantic? I would second guess that.
Very romantic. So, a woman allegedly called in a bomb threat to prevent her husband getting on a plane from Los Angeles to Atlanta, where she believed he was to visit his mistress.
Wow.